Go ahead, Dean.
Okay. Being as I'm the best man, it's the first time I've ever done this, so
Actually, I'm the best man.
okay, I'm the second best man. Just today. You can have it today.
Okay.
I've never done a speech before, so I apologize if I'm doing this wrong. But I just want to wish my dad and Chris all the happiness in the world. I hope you have a fantastic day today. And Chris, welcome to the family. So, here's to them.
Cheers. Cheers. To Chris and David.
Great job.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You
very
did better
good.
than I would have done.
You're a natural.
So none of my family was able to make it, so I asked a dear friend of mine, Wally, to say a few kind words, I hope. And not too many secrets that you're going to disclose about me, but I hope there's some...
He's got a list.
You can prepare.
I had to write just a couple things down just to keep my little stories together and organize in my timeline. But so thank you for asking me to say a couple kind words. And I was thinking about what I wanted to say, and a person I could stand here and say all these descriptive, wonderful words, but what I thought I would do instead is to share just a couple of very short stories. So bear with me if I take 2 minutes here, but Chris and I met back in September of 1998, and so next month it'll be 19 years for us, and I didn't know really where that journey was going to go. And I remember when I first met Chris, I walked into the office, we were working together, that's where we met. And she was behind the desk, and we didn't get too close for the first week or so, and I remember just admiring her from the distance. She was always so classy and dressed so prim and proper, and the hair was right, and we would walk out together after work, and she had her Mustang, and she put down the top, and it was like a movie star with the big sunglasses. And I don't know if you had the kerchief across your hair so the wind didn't blow it or not, but it reminded me. She reminded me of this movie star. And as we got to know each other, I found we had some things in common, and a couple of those things were health. We both cared about our health, and we both cared about exercising and eating well. But that was two different things to both of us. So, Chris liked to run outside. God bless her. She'd go for jogs in the spring and summer and the fall, and even in the winter. She's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:45 and jogging out there at 0 and the rain's coming down. And I found out that she would fall from time to time. And so I remember her coming into work a couple times, and she was bleeding, and she's behind the desk, and she's like, I don't know what happened. And so we would fix her up and get her bandaged, whereas I like to run inside on the treadmill, climatize. And I said, you should really try it. Anyway, I also found out with our healthy eating, it was very different for both of us as well, because I liked my chicken and salads. We would both, be exercising, but Chris was determined. She had this beautiful figure hourglass. She wanted to keep it, and she would go on these cabbage soup, these diets, and yes. So I couldn't remember where it started as I was, putting these thoughts together. But I remember that she would come in with this thermos and all screwed tight, and she would start eating this cabbage soup. And at first it was like once every 3 months or so, and then it was down to like once a month, and then she was eating it for 10 days straight. And I remember we would sit across from each other having our lunch, and one day she was sitting there and she's eating this soup, and she's like, oh, I gotta go. And she got up and she poured that soup down the toilet, and I didn't see her eat that soup for a little while. After that, she was back to the bag salad in a bowl with a little tiny bit of dressing. The other thing is, it was funny because we went on a trip. Speaking of food, just one more food stories. We went on a trip together for work, and we went to Toronto, and we had so much fun. And they served us so much food there. We would joke between each other. I said, come on, Chris, we got to be there at 7 a.m. Breakfast is being served. and they had all these eggs and bacon and all this food. And I'd never seen Chris eat so much in about 3 days. It's not even funny. She's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to exercising. So Chris and I really got to know each other. We had a great time. And one thing about Chris is she was always very driven, very motivated to do things for people, whether it was volunteering, helping out her family. She talked about her parents all the time, her sisters, and how important they were and the different things like that. Also, she was always going to school. She was always taking classes, so she would work all day, and then 3 nights a week, or Saturdays, she was taking these classes. And one of these marketing classes, she had to do a project on something that was so near and dear to her heart. And I know those of you who know her may have even known about this project, but I was sitting in my office one day and she came in and she was all excited and she had this portfolio and she goes, I've got this project, I've worked really hard on it, and I want your opinion, I want you to know what you think. So she hands this to me, and it was a bottle of wine. She was doing marketing for this wine, and I felt so bad at the time, but I started laughing. I had tears running out of my eyes. I could barely get the words out to her, and I said, I should have really known that this project was going to have something to do with the wine. The project was fantastic. It was
good
quality
class
work.
in a bottle.
Yes. So it was wonderful. Over the years, we got to know each other even more. I told a couple of you today very briefly that Chris and I went on a trip to Phoenix together for a couple of days just to go shopping and see each other really in a different light. And it was a lot of fun. So we did shopping and we would go out for these nice little restaurant meals and we'd lounge by the pool. It was fantastic. And I had never seen Chris, because Chris was always pretty solid with the budget. There's no spending any money outside of the budget. Bag salad, never go shopping for clothes. We went down to Phoenix and I had seen her spend more money in 3 days than I had in the previous 10 years. So we had a great time down there. I won't tell them about the Sunday, the night we went to the Dairy Queen.
No.
Okay, so we won't tell that story, but it was good. So anyway, lots of fun things, but seriously, I want to speak to one more story. And over the years of really getting to know Chris better and better, we talked about our lives, we talked about our futures and where we saw ourselves going. And Chris had shared a couple things with me, and most of you and I think you'll be fine if I share this, but Chris said, there's just a few things that I really want in life, and one of them is, I want to have a home, I want to have a house. Second thing is, I want to have a family, I want to have a dog, and the other thing, which was the most important, is, I want to fall in love, and I want to get married, and I want to have a husband. And those 3 things had resonated with me, and we talked about it for many, many years. And one night, and I talked to you guys both about this when we went for brunch a couple weeks ago, but I went home, it was on the weekend, and I watched this movie called Under the Tuscan Sun with Diane Lane. And very briefly, it was a lady who wasn't happy in the U.S. She wanted to, seek out this new life. She goes over to Italy, of all places, and she ends up finding the things that she wants out of life. And I remember I was so excited to see Chris on Monday. I was hoping nobody else was in the office because I wanted to talk to her about this movie. And I said, I think you're going to get all these things that you want. They're all going to come, but they're not going to come in that traditional package that we may have known as we were growing up, because life has changed. So the next thing that happens is Chris ends up going shopping for a condo. And I hope I didn't push her into it, but it was a lot of fun. I went condo shopping with her. And so she got this condo and she got it all fixed up, and I saw, oh, this is wonderful. This is the starting of getting to where she wants to be. And then, very quickly, I'll speed it up because I'm taking too much time, but, I see now that she's got the man that she loves, and, she's able to get married the way she wanted to. And she's also got a family. It's a different type of a family than maybe what she'd expected to get, but she's been able to finally get all 3 of those pieces that she's wanted. And I've watched her over the years really grow and just search her way to get the things that she wanted. So I just wanted you to know that I love you very much, and I'm very, very happy and thankful that you and I met and we spent as much time together, as we have. So cheers to you, Chris. You've got so many wonderful things.
Cheers.
And you're going to have a great life. And now you're going to be under the Tuscan sun.
Yes.
Enjoy your honeymoon. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.